Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're having a great day today. It's me, Jin, with another horrifying episode. No, it probably won't be horrifying, but you know, it might be. We're about to find out. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Okay, the first one that we're going to read says, "Am I the a-hole? I cooked dinner for us, and my girlfriend came home with takeout for herself and ate it in front of our kid and I. She came back from work with takeout and casually ate it in front of us while we ate the dinner that I made for all of us, and you can only imagine how challenging it was getting my son to eat his boring dinner while his mum was eating a burger with fries and a milkshake. She does this kind of thing a lot where she brings home a meal or snacks that I'm not allowed to touch or orders for herself only, and usually I don't comment because she made it clear that I don't get a say since I'm unemployed at the moment and it's her own money that she's spending and she's allowed to spoil herself, which I understand. But it's the first time that she did it in front of her kid and it just didn't sit well with me, while she didn't think it was a big deal, as it's not like our child didn't have anything else to eat. Oh god, okay, yeah, that's not good, and it's definitely deliberate too. Yeah, the top comment, not the a-hole, though it does sound like she resents you for being unemployed and doing this passive-aggressively to make her point. And OP said, "It seems that way, and it's not like I enjoy being unemployed. I've been struggling to find work for 3 months, but she makes it seem like it's been 3 years. And I do all the cooking and cleaning and dishes and laundry and primary parenting, so it's not like I'm sitting around doing nothing, and I'm still actively applying for jobs." The second top comment says, "That's messed up, especially doing it in front of your kid like it's normal. She's making food about power, and that's just mean." And OP said, "I don't get it too. I can't imagine not sharing with my kid. She can do it all she wants to me, but it's cruel to do that to her own child." And the comment below that one says, "You mentioned making dinner. If you're looking after the rest of the household chores, then you're not unemployed any more than any other stay-at-home parent isn't working. You're a homemaker. Your contribution to the household is not being factored in, not the a-hole." The comment below that says, "You cook dinner for her, yet you're wondering if you're the a-hole." And the comment under that says, "She's teaching your kid that this behavior's okay. Will she be okay if your child marries somebody who's acting like this? Not the a-hole, but she sure is. Yeah, that sucks. You're meant to be a team." This comment says, "My partner's temporarily unemployed when the company that he was with was bought out by investors, who then gutted the entire company. It sucks, but it is what it is. And you know what? I buy him takeout often. I just did it last night. I also went to the grocery store on Thursday and got him his favorite snacks and pricey OJ. It makes him smile and feel appreciated because he is appreciated. That's the way that you treat a partner. We all have our ups and downs in life. We're a team and we're in this together. He gets treats employed or not." And OP said, "Honestly, this made me emotional. You're a good partner, and I'm sad that my girlfriend doesn't treat me that way, even though I did so much for her when I was working, and even when she herself was unemployed in the beginning of our relationship. I thought that's what partners do for each other, but not according to her. I once got shouted at for eating a snack just because I didn't contribute towards it, even though she knows I can't right now." And OP also has this comment, "She doesn't see anything wrong with what she's doing. She feels like she works and can reward herself. I don't work, so I can't expect or deserve a reward from her hard-earned money, and she thinks it was okay in front of our child because he had a full plate of food that I cooked. One good thing for sure though is that this showed me her true colors." Yeah, oh, that one's sad. Like sort of unrelated but also related. I was on the "Am I Overreacting" subreddit before to try to find some more stories for today's episode, and I was so horrified at the stuff that I saw on there. Like how awful some couples treat each other, and there are all of these text conversations between couples, and they sound like they hate each other. I was reading through them trying to find stuff to read for the episode, and it was making me sad. Like every time I read that sort of stuff, I'm like, did you forget that you're meant to like your partner? Because they obviously don't even like each other. Yeah, it really sucks. And yeah, as expected, definitely a not the a-hole consensus. And yeah, all the best, OP. Post number 2. Speaking of am I overreacting? Am I overreacting for being annoyed that my friend keeps on accidentally taking my rare houseplants? Yeah, okay, so I'm pretty sure this one's not gonna be an accident. Oh no, I accidentally took your rare houseplants again. I slipped and fell and I accidentally stole your rare plants. I smell something suspicious. I, 26 female, have been collecting rare variegated monsteras and philodendrons for years. Some of the cuttings cost me over $200. My friend, 25 female, is newly into plants and always compliments them, which I thought was sweet, until I noticed that my favorites keep going missing after she visits. Wow. Like, hey, nice plant. That's really beautiful. I'm gonna steal it. That's so bad. First, it was a single leaf clipping I might have believed that she brushed against. Then a whole node vanished from my propagation station. Last week, she tripped near my prize. Oh my God. I was joking before when I said, oh, I tripped over and stole your plants. That's actually what they said. Last week, she tripped near my prized elbow monstera, and suddenly there's a fresh snap in the stem. When I confronted her, she teared up and said, I'd never steal. You know that I'm just clumsy. But here's the thing. Her Instagram now features suspiciously similar rare plants. All gifted by a friend. My plant group says this is 100% theft, but our mutual friends think that I'm being paranoid over just leaves. What? Yeah, so don't listen to your mutual friends. Am I overreacting for wanting to ban her from my apartment? Or should I set up a hidden camera first? That is so terrible. And the mutual friends being like, oh, you're paranoid over leaves. Like, okay, so they don't understand the situation then. So definitely don't listen to them. Oh my God, this one's infuriating. Oh, I tripped over near your prized monstera, and now I've suddenly got a stem from it. And then they show them off on their Instagram. The monstera bandit. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna steal my friend's plants, or like clippings from their plants, and then I'm gonna show them off on my Instagram. But no, you are not overreacting. This comment says, number 1, tell her that you clearly know that she stole them, and that she's not your friend any longer, and to never be in contact. Number 2, tell every mutual friend that she's a thief and a liar, and that you've cut her out and that they have a choice to make. You will not involve yourself with any activity where she's present. And number 3, live your life, and know that you got rid of some poo-poo on your shoe. 100%. Yeah, you're not overreacting. I cannot believe they actually said, oh, I slipped over. No, what'd she say? She tripped near my prize monstera. Oh, I tripped and fell, and I took some of your plant. Get out of here. The top comment says, the most ridiculous part of friends who do like this is that had they asked you for a cutting to help them get into plants, you probably would have given it to them once your plant was established, or at the very least offered it to them at a reduced price so that they don't need to spend so much on a new hobby. You could even have decided to split the cost of the expensive plants on the agreement that whoever grows the cutting to a full plant then gives the other a cutting from theirs. Apologies if my terminology's off. I'm not a plant girl, aside from the ones that grow naturally outside. But instead of doing any of those normal sane ideas, they decide to go the route of lying and stealing. It is so stupid. As for what you should do about it, I guess it depends on how close a friend they are and how much you want to keep their friendship. If they're important to you, then maybe it's worth sitting down with them and having a proper discussion about it. Show them the plants that have disappeared from your place and the photos of the exact same plants that she got from a friend. Tell them that, yeah, you're hurt and annoyed, but you don't want this to be the end of your friendship. However, you need to be able to trust them around your house, and that starts with them being honest about what they did. Suggest that there are ways that they can get the plants they want without resorting to theft and lying about it to their friend. Example, some of the ideas I outlined above. But you don't want to do that with somebody that you can't trust. If they're not that good of a friend outside of this incident, or they're not very important to you, then cut them out of your life. You're allowed to react to someone stealing from you. And she said, I'd never steal. You know I'm just clumsy. But like, you're 99.9% sure that she did steal them. Yeah, no, that's not good. And once again, all the best, OP. The next one is also on Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting for snapping at my sister-in-law for calling my baby hers constantly? I, 30 female, have a 6-month-old baby. My sister-in-law, 26 female, has been obsessed with him since before he was born. At first I thought it was sweet. She's young and doesn't have kids and was excited, but lately it's gotten weird. She constantly refers to him as my baby in front of everybody, posts pictures with captions like Auntie's baby with the heart eyes emoji, and even got a tattoo of his birthday. Not her own birthday, his. The final straw happened last week when she introduced him to somebody as quote unquote my baby boy. Wow. So she said, hey, this is my baby boy. I immediately corrected her and she laughed and said, he might as well be mine. I love him more than anybody else. Yeah, nah. What? I lost it. I told her to stop being creepy, that she's making it about her, and that that's not okay. She started crying and stormed out. Now my mother-in-law says that I was harsh and that I should be grateful that my baby is so loved. I do want her involved, but I feel like she's crossing a line. Yeah, for sure. Everybody else thinks I'm overreacting and making drama. Am I overreacting for snapping when my sister-in-law called my son hers? No, you're not overreacting. There's a balance here, and she's not achieving the balance. She's going too far. And also, did you say that she got a tattoo of his birthday? And also saying, I love him more than anyone else. Nah, she can show her love in a not creepy way. The top comment says, not gonna lie, I was the super involved aunt who loved her niece and nephew, but I would have never gotten their birthday tattooed on me. If somebody had my baby's birthday tattooed on them, it would probably creep me out. And also the fact that she said, I love him more than anybody else. Love's never a competition, but if it were, the parents would win. I would not take kindly to somebody telling me that they love my baby more than I do. Yeah, that's like somebody telling me that they love Nez more than me. It's a blatant lie. I love Nez. It is fantastic that your baby's so loved, but she crossed some lines. Hopefully y'all can find a healthy balance. Yeah, that's 100% right. There needs to be a balance. And at the moment, she's out of balance. The second top comment says, saying my baby or auntie's baby isn't so weird. The tattoo's definitely odd, but the introducing him as her baby boy and saying that he might as well be her own kid is super weird behavior. I can't tell if she's saying that she loves him more than she loves other people, or if she loves him more than anybody else does. But if it's the latter, that's absolutely unacceptable to say. She's way too obsessed with a baby who isn't even hers. I've known people who really love their nieces and nephews and grandkids, but some people, like your sister-in-law, take it way too far. I'd probably limit contact with her until she can act more reasonable around him, unless you want the free childcare. Maybe if she's the one waking up during the night and changing all the dirty diapers, then maybe she won't be so infatuated. This comment says it was sweet until it went too far. Introducing your baby as hers and saying that he may as well be hers and she loves him more than anybody else, that would have been my snapping point too. Yeah, from what I can see here, that's definitely the consensus. Yeah, like she can definitely be loving without going too far. And the next one that we're gonna read, am I overreacting for walking out of my baby shower because my mother-in-law made it all about her loss? I'm 28 weeks pregnant with our first baby. My husband and I, both 31, were over the moon when we found out. It's been a tough pregnancy, but I've managed. And my friends held a small, beautiful baby shower last weekend. Mother-in-law 61 female showed up wearing white, a sash that said grandma to be, and brought a framed picture of her first baby, who tragically passed away at 3 months old. I thought that maybe it was just sentimental and I tried to let it go. Then during the gift opening, she loudly told everybody that nothing will ever top her firstborn and made me pass around the photo. I was stunned. It felt like she hijacked my moment to grieve her own at an event literally meant to celebrate my baby. I quietly left the table, I went to the bathroom and cried. My husband followed me in and said, she's just emotional, don't make a scene. I said I wasn't going back out if she was still there, and he got mad at me. So I called my best friend and she drove me home. Now my mother-in-law's playing the victim. Yeah, of course she is. Saying that I embarrassed her and I shamed her grief. My husband says that I overreacted and should apologize to keep the peace. Oh, for God's sake, this is so annoying. I don't even want her at the birth now. Am I overreacting? No, definitely not. Another husband that acts like this. Can't stand up for their partner, says that you should apologize just to keep the peace. Your mother-in-law and your husband suck. This comment says not overreacting. Nobody in their right mind takes a photo of their dead child to hand around at somebody else's baby shower, unless they're purposely trying to aggravate the mum-to-be and make everything about themselves. If she is genuinely still struggling with her grief to a point that she needs to act like this, then she needs some serious therapy. It was over 30 years ago, and you have a massive husband problem. A crazy jealous mother-in-law's only ever a problem if the husband's a weak-ass mama's boy. He should be as angry as you, if not more so. 100%, yeah. He should have pulled her aside the moment that he saw the photo and told her to put it away and keep her mouth shut. Yeah. He should have thrown her out when she started passing it around. Not only did he completely fail to deal with her, but he's saying that you did something wrong. You don't owe anyone an apology, but they both owe you one. If I were you, I'd sit husband down and tell him clearly that his reaction was not okay and that he failed you. I'd tell him that he either realizes who was actually in the wrong, apologizes to you himself, and demands that his mother do the same, or I'd be packing a bag and leaving. It may sound extreme, but it's really not. If he doesn't get his priorities straight now, you'll be fighting this insane crap with the mother-in-law for the rest rest of your life. Yeah, for sure. Imagine the day you give birth, the day you bring the baby home. Imagine the kids' birthdays. Imagine if you have more children after this. Can you see her taking over each and every occasion? That's gonna be your life if you don't put a stop to it now. Yeah, like it's not gonna get better. It'll keep happening and get worse if anything, especially if your husband can't even stand up for you. Like, how terrible, your own husband's not even on your side. I feel so sorry for you, OP. This comment says you're underreacting. Your husband's primary loyalty and concern is with his mother and not with his child or the mother of his child. That's the life that you're facing. That's the issue at hand, and you should not let any other detail distract you. She came to an event about you and took it over, disrespected you, and blamed you for it, and then your husband supported her and not you. Read around some other stories on here. What do you think the delivery room's going to be like? Will she insist on being there? Will your husband hold her hand during your labor? What else will she demand as you're vulnerable after releasing a human from your body? Do you trust your husband to support you then? Because I don't. Yeah, for sure, OP, your husband did a terrible job here. Like, he's meant to support you. Yeah, that sucks. The top comment says, no, you're absolutely not overreacting. Your baby shower was meant to celebrate you and your baby. What your mother-in-law did was inappropriate and self-centered, even if it came from a place of grief. There's a time and a place to honor a lost child, but your shower was not it. Grief does not excuse somebody from hijacking a moment that was supposed to be joyful for someone else. Wearing a sash and bringing a framed photo and passing it around to the guest was not sentimental, it was attention-seeking. Saying that nothing will ever top her firstborn was incredibly hurtful and dismissive of your child. You handled the situation calmly and respectfully. You removed yourself rather than causing a scene, which is more than many people would have been able to do. That's not overreacting. It's protecting your emotional well-being. Your husband should be supporting you. This is a major moment in your life and your feelings deserve respect. Keeping the peace should not come at the cost of your comfort or your boundaries. You're allowed to decide who gets to be there when you give birth. If her behavior makes you feel unsafe or unsupported, you don't need to include her. That's your decision, and it's valid. You did not shame her grief either. She chose to insert it into a space where it didn't belong. You're not responsible for her embarrassment, and you don't owe her an apology for feeling hurt. Yeah, I feel sorry for OP. OP probably feels super alone at the moment. OP's husband doesn't even back them up. Yeah, this one's sad. But yeah, like all the other comments are saying, you're not overreacting. If anything, you're underreacting. Yeah, that's so bad. And you have a husband that doesn't even stand up for you. And you're 28 weeks pregnant with your first baby. So your husband is about to be a father. And this is how we act. And he doesn't stand up for you. If he doesn't pull it together, it's gonna be really bad, OP. Like, he's gonna keep on doing this. He'll keep on supporting his mum and backing his mum up. He'll keep on taking his mummy's side on everything. Yeah, he needs to read the comments here. Okay, the next one. Am I the a-hole for telling a client no, after he asked to sell my software and keep 100% of the profits? Hey Reddit, I need a reality check on a situation that just went down with a client. I'm a software engineer who creates and sells plugins for a specific video game as a side hustle. These plugins are sold on a license basis, allowing one purchase to be used on a single machine. I recently decided to retire from the business, meaning that I'm not creating any new plugins due to real-life time constraints. However, I made it clear to all of my existing clients that I'd continue to support the plugins they've already purchased from me, as per our contracts. Client is one of my long-term clients. He's always been great to work with, which is why I'm so stunned by what just happened. A few days after my retirement announcement, he sent me this message. Hey, my friend, I have a question. Of course, if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine with me. And here's what. Would it be possible for us to implement a licensing system of mine for my 2 plugins so that I can sell it? Because then it'd work automatically for me, since I'm already actively selling bots and plugins. And if there are any problems that you could fix, for a fee, of course, because your work shouldn't be free. I was taken aback, so I wanted to ensure that I understood him correct. You want to sell my work as your own and keep the profits from it, besides having me fix the bugs for a fee. And his response floored me. Client, yep, that would be the plan. Or did you misunderstand me? I don't want open source files either, and you could charge for every problem or something, because your work should be worthwhile. I was so livid. He wasn't wasn't asking me for a partnership or a reseller deal. He was cheerfully asking me to hand over my product for free so that he could profit entirely, while I'd still be responsible for maintenance. That felt incredibly smug and disrespectful, like he thought this was a brilliant and fair idea. I completely lost my temper and I sent him the following 2 messages. Me, part 1. I've been trying to figure out how to respond to you, but I'm at a loss. I can't comprehend the level of audacity it takes to ask me to give you my work for free. Let me spell this out. You want to take my product, sell it as if you own it, keep 100% of the profit, and then have the goal to suggest that you'd do me a favor by paying me to fix it for you? Like some on-demand tech support for my own software? That's not a business proposal. That's the most brazen, entitled, and parasitic request I've ever even encountered. And the fact that you doubled down with a smiley face is frankly sickening and incredibly insulting. And me, part 2. Your request is like walking into a car factory, asking for a business proposal where they give you a fleet of brand new cars for free so that you can sell them and keep all the profit for yourself. Your fair offer in return is to pay one of the engineers a fee to change the oil. Not only would they laugh at you, they'd kick you out and question your sanity. This isn't a misunderstanding. This is you trying to exploit my work. I find your lack of shame and integrity staggering. Don't ever contact me with a business idea again. And in case you can't tell, the answer is no. He has not responded. A part of me feels like my response was completely justified because his request was so profoundly insulting and parasitic, but another part of me wonders if I went too far. I was profane, I called him names and I used harsh analogies. I burned the relationship with a previously good client when I could have just said no and moved on. Am I the a-hole? Edit number 1, the plugs are not cheats or bots or hacks. It's server-side plugins that allow for features and functionality that mods otherwise aren't capable of by directly hooking into the server. My software has several internal and external security measures, so I am confident that he wouldn't be able to distribute it. My philosophy regarding my own software is that if somebody truly went to the lengths that it'd take to crack my internal and external security measures, then they deserve a free copy. I wouldn't even be mad, lol. I'd probably just want to know how they did it and why they didn't just spend a fraction of the time creating the same thing themselves. Obviously though, distributing it and reselling it is different. I'm not willing to nuke anything or revoke their access. They've paid for it and I intend for them to have access for as long as their license does remain valid, regardless of my feelings about them. Thank you for the replies so far. This comment says, yeah, you could have been more diplomatic, but honestly, I get it. That kind of entitlement is infuriating, especially when coming from somebody that you thought respected your work. Boundaries matter. And the comment below that one says, you said no to your client practically stealing your work. I hope you have something in place to prevent them from just actually stealing it. They don't exactly strike me as the honest type to not just steal your stuff and resell it. And OP said, I do, thankfully. And this comment says, not the a-hole, the amount of entitlement some people have is ridiculous. Oh yeah, and we read about it in every episode. It's annoying, isn't it? Like, oh, I feel entitled to this for whatever reason. It happens so often and it's so hard to read about because it's so frustrating. Like, oh yeah, I deserve this and I'm entitled to this because I made up in my head that I am. It's so annoying. From what I can see here in the comments, it is a not the a-hole consensus. And the next one that we're going to read is called, am I the a-hole for keeping the bridesmaid dress and wearing it after I got kicked out of the wedding? So I, 26 female, was supposed to be a bridesmaid for my friend's 27 female wedding. We used to be close in college but haven't really talked that much since. I honestly was kind of surprised that she even asked me. Planning it was a disaster. She was micromanaging every single thing and kept on acting like we were all just accessories in her aesthetic. She wanted us to have identical nails and lashes, and like I do get wanting a vibe, but I said in the group chat that I wasn't doing long fake nails since I work in healthcare, and she got mad and made some comment like, then maybe you're not a fit for the bridal party. So I said, maybe I'm not, and I guess that was that. Like, oh no, well maybe I'm not. Bye. A few days later she texted me saying that she was taking me out of the wedding party, but I could still come as a guest, which to be honest felt kind of humiliating, especially after I already bought the dress and the shoes and paid for alterations, over $350. I asked if I could still wear the dress to the wedding since it's not like I can return it, and she said absolutely not. She doesn't want anybody wearing that dress unless they're in the photos and didn't want reminders of negativity at her wedding. So I didn't go. Yeah, understandably. But yeah, 2 days later I wore the dress to brunch and I posted pictures and tagged the store. It was definitely the same dress and the same color scheme she went with for the wedding. So our mutuals realized it and I guess it got back to her. She sent this whole thing about how I was being disrespectful and intentionally trying to ruin her vibe, and I said, it's a dress I paid for and it looks good. Some friends say that I had every right. Others say that I clearly posted it to stir the pot, which I didn't. The dress was expensive and the brunch was very formal, and I needed a dress and I had it, so I wore it. Am I the a-hole? Update. I want to clarify a few things. I do have other dresses I could have worn to the brunch, but none fit that theme. The person who hosted it wanted light colors, and all of my other dresses are dark green or red or black, some just white. I only had the light blue dress that was bought for the wedding. I originally didn't even plan on going to the brunch, but I decided last minute since my girlfriend wanted to go and wanted me to go with her. Small and other update and clarification. The dress wasn't from a wedding dress store. It was a normal mall store like Zara or H&M, and that's what I tagged, not a bridal shop store. And last update, good to know that I'm not the a-hole lol. As for the situation, I'm gonna let everything pass and not entertain anybody, including my now ex-girlfriend. Don't know why she was so upset on behalf of the bride, but whatever. I'm done with all the drama. This has drained me badly. Thank you to all the people who commented. I did not think it would reach 10 people, let alone 400 plus. Wait, so what happened with your girlfriend? Including my now ex-girlfriend. I don't know why she was so upset on behalf of the bride. OP's got a comment that says, it's just my girlfriend who's upset that's getting to me. She's upset on behalf of the bride, saying that I should have waited to wear the dress and then wear it 2 days after the wedding, even if I told her I don't have anything else I could wear. Okay, so the top comments are not the a-hole. The top comment itself says not the a-hole. If she was that concerned about you wearing the dress elsewhere, then she could have given you the money and bought it back from you. It's your dress and you can do what you want with the dress. She's desperate to cause drama. Don't let her take up any more of your energy. The second top comment says not the a-hole. She had a very simple remedy if she wanted to keep your dress from being used other than as her bridesmaid. She could have bought it back from you. The comment below that says not the a-hole. You definitely did it to stir the pot though. A bridesmaid dress to brunch lol. The comment below that says your friends are right. You had every right to wear it and you clearly wanted to stir the pot just a little bit. Yeah, the dress was expensive. Yeah, the brunch was very formal. However, I don't for 1 second believe that you're naive enough to not know, with mutual friends who have access to your social media, that this would not get back to her and her nose would be a little bit out of joint. You really should just own it. I usually say that all stirrers that aren't inanimate objects are a-holes. However, I'm gonna let this one slide. Not the a-hole. A bit of pettiness is not usually pretty, but you enjoyed this. She deserved this and I enjoyed the pettiness too. The comment below that says not the a-hole. The dress is yours. You can wear it food shopping or having high tea with the Duchess of Windsor and post as many pictures as you want. Your friend can get bent. She sounds like a high maintenance nightmare. The comment directly under that one says you definitely were stirring the pot, which is understandable if things really went down the way that you're describing it, but it does make you sound silly trying to say that you didn't do it to provoke her at least partially. Yeah, from what I can see here, it's a not the a-hole consensus. There are definitely everybody sucks here and you the a-hole comments too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And the next one, am I overreacting for walking out of my own birthday dinner after my boyfriend surprised me with his ex as a guest? Oh my freaking god, what? No. What are we about to read? I don't want to read this. It sounds horrifying. I, 26 female, just had my birthday dinner last weekend. My boyfriend, 28 male, organized it at my favorite restaurant and told me that it'd be small and intimate. When I showed up, I was happy to see a few close friends and family. About halfway through the meal, my boyfriend shows up late with his ex, 29 female, in tow. What is your boyfriend thinking? He introduced her to everybody as a good friend and insisted that she join our table. I was shocked, especially since I've told him before that I'm uncomfortable with how close they still are. They text and hang out sometimes, which already annoys me, but he says they're just friends. His ex acted super friendly and kept on making jokes about the good old days with my boyfriend, even bringing up inside jokes that I've never heard. This is infuriating. Everyone at the table seemed awkward but tried to brush it off. After about 20 minutes of this, I couldn't take it anymore, and I told my boyfriend I needed some air. I ended up calling an Uber and going home. He's furious with me for making a scene, and his mum, who was there, called me immature for leaving my own party. Now he's not talking to me and says that I overreacted. Yeah, definitely dump him. And that I embarrassed him. Was I really that out of line for walking out? No. Am I overreacting, or was this actually as weird as it felt? That is so unbelievable. What? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna assume that this one's real. It definitely might not be, but if it it is real, get rid of your so-called boyfriend. What? The top comment says organizing a dinner, then showing up late to that very dinner for your birthday with his ex? That's insane to me. In no circumstance would I be okay with any significant other doing that to me. And they for sure would have got more than me just silently taking an Uber ride home as a scene being caused. Yeah, 100%. And anybody would react the same. Like, why would he ever feel like that was acceptable? Not telling you what to do since it's your relationship, but you are without a shadow of a doubt not overreacting. Have a better day, OP. The response to that says, to be honest, this is one of the most evil relationship stories that I've heard. To parade in with your ex publicly like that, what an a-hole. He needs his head checked. Yeah, and blaming you for making a scene? Like all the comments are saying, a lot of people would have made a lot more of a scene, understandably too. The disrespect. The second top comment says he's concerned about his own feelings and being embarrassed at what was supposed to be your birthday dinner. You've made it clear, I assume, that you're uncomfortable with their relationship, but he just ignored it. On top of it, it sounds like he's gaslighting you, trying to make you feel like you're acting crazy for being upset about the situation. You're not overreacting at all. This would be a complete deal breaker for me. The disrespect is out of control. Yeah, that's enough for today, everybody. What an adventure of an episode. We need to read something wholesome. Imagine a squirrel making a nest at your window and being able to watch them sleep and grow. Oh, that's so cute. That's so beautiful. I love that so much. Like, hello, little friends. That is so cute. And this one too. I'm only packing the essentials. Yeah, for sure. The kitties are all that matters. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a great time today. If you did, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section. And the comment of the day today, goes to the Ghost Wolf. We need to start a movement of sending peace was never an option memes to family members who use the phrase keeping the peace. Yeah, please. Like, hey, you want me to keep the peace? No. Peace was never an option. With the goose that has the knife in its mouth. Yeah, I 100% agree. I could not agree more. Thank you for the comment and thank you for the support. And thank you all for the support, everybody. And thank you for watching the episodes. I'll see you in the next one. So make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every other day. Bye.